A beautiful night in Gotham on this first day of June. And this has certainly been a home court geared series. Will there be a breakthrough? The Knicks 8-0 at home in the playoffs, while the Pacers have actually done a nice job on the road. A look at that Indiana starting lineup. Hayward Workman, who turned it in the 2 games at Indianapolis, and Reggie Miller, who came on in game 4 on Monday afternoon. They are the backcourt. Rick Smits has had a solid series. Derek McKee had his problems here at Madison Square Garden, but he turned it up a notch in the games back home. And Dale Davis at the other forward position. Larry Brown, head coach of the Indiana Pacers. He says the key to the series, the team that has gotten to the loose balls and the long rebounds, the team that out-hustles the other will win the game. Derek Harper and John Starks open up at the guard positions for the Knicks, and the Knicks are looking for more production in the backcourt. Patrick Ewing was able to bounce back from the 0 for 10 in game 3, had a good one in game 4. Charles Smith has been very quiet, and Charles Oakley has tailed off the last couple of ball games. So there you have the starting lineups. Pat Riley says the high number of turnovers by the Knicks, 26 in game number 4, the result of a form of what he calls mental meltdown, the result of the playoff grind. And we're set for game 5. Joe Crawford, Jack Madden, Dan Crawford are the officials, and the Indiana Pacers control the opening tip. Hayward Workman guarded by Derek Harper. Reggie Miller played by John Starks once again. And Rick Smits gets it down low, batted away by Charles Oakley. Harper. And Starks off the screen. Yes. John Starks with a 3-point shot to open things up.
It looked like John was ready to shoot that ball even before he got to his hands. He rushed it, but he drained it.
Starks has not shot well during the series. Joe Crawford with the call of an illegal defense. That is the warning.
There's John Starks getting in the ball in a reversal. The Knicks had actually looked inside to Charles Smith to try to get him off. Couldn't get it to him as he's been fronted. These teams really do mirror each other in a lot of things that they do defensively. Everybody fronts in the post.
McKee gets inside and is rejected by Ewing. Derek McKee on the follow. Derek McKee missed his first 11 shots here at the Garden. Games 1 and 2. 0 for 7 in game 1, and then finished up at 2 for 9 in the second game of the series.
Well, we use the phrase easy baskets a lot. That would be a pretty good description of one right there. A good block by Ewing and a hard work by McKee, but just an easy lay-in.
Shot clock at 4. Starks. Good look by Oakley. As Ahmad mentioned earlier, Charles Oakley suffered that sprained left ankle in game 4 in the 4th quarter. Says it's sore, but Charles always says he's all right. Early in the series, bothered by a bruised foot. Chant of defense here in the early going. Smits' pass deflected. Workman just did get it off to beat the 24. The Knicks 5 and the Pacers 2. Oakley hesitated and then hit.
A little tentative look that time by Charles Oakley. He couldn't believe he was that wide open. He just spent a weekend in Indianapolis and didn't get that clear a look in 2 days.
There's Reggie Miller. Will it count? No. Whistle before the shot attempt. Offensive foul. So the basket waved off. Dale Davis setting an illegal pick.
Well, moving and also grabbing on to John Starks, and the easy call for the officials there. But John Starks working hard. Nothing new there with Reggie Miller trying to keep contact with him. And after John knocking down his first 2 shots, the 3-pointer and the driving layup, he'll even play tougher defense.
Hayward Workman called for the foul. Wild pass from Oakley. Batted around by Miller, and then Starks called for the foul. When you consider the way the Knicks were shooting in Indianapolis, they have to be delighted as they've opened up on fire by hitting their first 3 shots. Charles Oakley blaming himself for that That lead pass that went astray.
And Pat Riley upset with it as well. Those are the kinds of turnovers you have to stay away from. Pat wants to keep that turnover number down to around 15 or 16.
Knicks with a 7-2 advantage. Miller picked up by Ewing on a switch, helping out in a double team. Shot clock at 1. Smith with the steal. Smith with the hesitation dribble, and that throws Miller. It's the Knicks with a 9-2 lead. Indiana calling for time.
Well, this steal all set up on pressure defense as the Pacers throwing the ball around the perimeter, and the seas open up for Charles Smith as he gets his best look in a couple of games as Reggie Miller makes a decision there, guessing that Charles Smith might pass the ball, but Charles able to keep his steps and finish in strong fashion.
So Indiana takes a 20-second timeout. A rough start here in game number 5 for the Pacers. Game 1 won by the Knicks here at Madison Square Garden last Tuesday. Big game for Charles Oakley. Patrick Ewing also had a good one. Game number 2, Ewing 32 points, 13 rebounds for that 11-point victory. Game 3 at Market Square. The Knicks with only 68 points, a record NBA playoff low as they shot 34%. And game 4 won by the Pacers this past Monday as Reggie Miller turned it up with 31. Smith's his pass picked off. Excellent defense by the Knicks here at the start. Smith with a hard driving move. And McKee comes away with it. Eric McKee sets up Haywood Workman for 3. And it will be Nick Ball.
Well, Charles Smith, after getting a somewhat of a breakaway layup, feeling his oats a little bit, gets another opening down the lane and decides to take this one with authority, but just unable to get enough lift off those legs to finish the play.
3.5 gone by. And the Knicks have a 9-2 lead. Starks with the fake. And a loose ball foul against the Knicks. Pushing foul on Smith. Game 6 will be played at Market Square Arena in Indianapolis on Friday night. If there's a Game 7, it will be back here at Madison Square Garden on Sunday. The Pacers have lost 11 straight here in New York, 31 of the last 33, dating back to January of 1983. Indiana now 1 for 5 from the floor. Ewing. Patrick Ewing converts on his first field goal, and the Knicks are now 5 of 7 from the field.
Well, Patrick went about 4 minutes without touching the ball at the offensive end. First time he gets his hands on it, launched it from deep.
Here's Miller for 3. Good box out by Oakley. Back comes Hopper. Smith with the open shot. The Knicks 13 and the Pacers 2.
Well, a goal for Pat Riley and the Knicks coming into this game. He wanted to get at least 10 fast break scores in this game. They may get them in this first quarter.
And it's stolen by Starks. Hopper ahead of the field. The Knicks 15. The Pacers 2. And Indiana will talk it over. Half of the ball games against the Indiana Pacers, but we talked with Pat Riley about Charles Smith's low numbers and asked what is happening with Charles Smith's game.
It's perplexing, you know, from the standpoint of consistent production as a starter. We need out of that position, and I'm talking about Charles Smith and Anthony Mason, one consistent performance out of that position from either guy, you know, each night. Charles has finally eliminated that brace that he was wearing. I think he's getting more confident. He's getting off to good starts, but their post defense and the fact that they do stunt and double on him has created a situation where he's not scoring enough. So we got to get the ball to him better. We got to get it to him a little bit more, and he has to be more aggressive.
Well, Charles getting the ball here on the early going, and as he handled it, he was fouled following that field goal by Rick Smith. So the Knicks now lead 15-4 with 6.5 remaining in this first quarter. The foul was called on Derek McKee. Nice pass from Ewing. Starks gives it up. Smith with the room again.
Barb, it is just amazing how things go well for you when you move the basketball. The double team on Ewing hits the cutter Starks to the basket. He makes the extra pass. Shot in rhythm by Smith.
And the foul called out on Derek Harper. Well, it has been a home series. We have seen runs take place on the home court. 17-2, 18-2 by the Knicks. And here tonight, a 17-4 lead by the Knicks.
Well, the aggressive pressure defense by Derek Harper on Workman is taking the Pacers a little bit out of sync, although they got the ball twice inside to Smits for jump hook.
Workman going behind the back. And here's Miller. The Knicks with a 17-6 lead. The Knicks have come out and hit their first 8 of 10 from the field.
And the Pacers looking to show a little trap to take the Knicks out of their rhythm.
Indiana has succeeded when they have gone to that trap. They've shown only flashes of it. McKee getting down 4. And the Knicks now lead 17-8.
And 2 straight fast break baskets. And again, the Pacers putting up double fist, looking possibly to trap again. And they're going to just try to keep the Knicks off balance as much as possible so they can't get into their offense.
And we'll discuss this from time to time. The Knicks have been vulnerable against the trap. Ewing, yes, it comes. Patrick Ewing connecting off glass, and he will go to the line.
Well, no trap here. The ball swung all the way around to Charles Oakley. The excellent ball and shot fake by Patrick Ewing, getting Derek McKee in the air. And Patrick able to finish it off the glass.
McKee called for his second foul. Patrick Ewing coming back from the 0 for 10 on Saturday afternoon. Hit 9 of 18 for 25 points along with 13 rebounds on Saturday. It's the Knicks 20 and the Indiana Pacers 8 with just under 5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Good job by John Starks defensively against Reggie Miller. Workman for 3. And a loose ball foul is called. And Jack Madden says, stay right here. It's on Patrick Ewing.
Well, the Pacers only 3 for 21 in this series from beyond the arc. That's the second one that Workman has taken, his 3rd overall in the series. And the reason they're taking them now is they've been taken completely out of their offense, and they're taking whatever shot shows up.
McKee trying to squeeze it through. Ewing for Oakley. And the foul is called. Workman and Oakley going down. And Oakley will go to the line. Foul committed by Haywood Workman.
And a terrific job by Patrick Ewing here to avoid the contact and the charge into Workman, getting the ball over to Charles Oakley, who draws the contact from Workman, and a little extra hit on the way down. A lot of people were speculating on whether or not Charles Oakley would be able to play in this ballgame after that injured foot that he suffered in Game 4. And most people that know Charles Oakley and have been around the Knicks for a long time figured if he could walk and was not on crutches and not in a cast, he'd be on this floor.
Knicks with a 21-8 lead. Charles Oakley with strong performances in games 1 and 2 here at the Garden, dropping off, as did his teammates in games 3 and 4 in Indianapolis.
Well, he had what you might call a quiet 15 rebounds in Game 4, if there is such a thing. And I think the most disconcerting thing to Charles and the Knicks was the 8 turnovers, which really was a big factor in the loss of Game 4 on Monday afternoon.
Well, the Knicks with 22 points in this first quarter with 4.5 remaining. That already is an enormous quarter of production for the Knicks. Indiana going into a weave to set it up for Smits. Nice move by Rick Smits. Rick Smits, 7'4", 265 pounds, in his 6th NBA year out of Paris by way of Eindhoven, Holland. Starks, and it's rebounded by McKee. Derek McKee with the hesitation dribble, but Charles Smith did not go for the fake. Dale Davis. Crowd wanted to travel. Nice move by Davis. The Knicks 22, the Pacers 12.
Well, Larry Brown has laid it on the line to Dale Davis ever since the first 2 games here in New York that he has to not only neutralize but outplay Charles Oakley, and when he gets those chances offensively, look to take it at Oakley.
And Davis comes up with that rebound. Indiana Pacers going 47-35 in the regular season, their best ever NBA record. Offensive foul is called. Rick Smits picks up his first foul.
Well, the first few times that Smits tried to post up, Patrick Ewing was able to get around and front and keep it from getting the ball. The last 3 times that Rick Smits has been in the post, he has gotten excellent position, and if he does, he'll get that shot all night long.
Well, it was always my dream to play for the Knicks or be part of the Knicks. You know, Red Holzman was a hero for me. I always knew I wanted to be a coach, and I admired the way he dealt with people and how unselfishly his teams played. So anytime I step onto the Garden floor, I think of him. And, you know, I look up and see those banners. I wasn't a participant there, but I was a big fan of the Knicks even when I was at other places. So this is the biggest game for me in this building. You know, I've been here with Kansas, been here with North Carolina and the Nets and other teams, but never in a position like this. And I don't take this moment lightly.
Well, Charles Oakley extends that Nick lead. Nice statement from Larry Brown, who's been a great admirer of Knicks coach Red Holzman, a man who guided the Knicks to the NBA title in 1970 and 1973. 2.5 remaining. First quarter, Indiana turns it over. Here's Hoffa with the ball fake, setting up Ewing, and he's fouled by Vern Fleming, who came on following that timeout.
Well, the Knicks' aggressive defense causing a lot of turnovers. None will be easy as this, as Smits back on his heels throws the one-hander and almost caught Derek Harper by surprise, as another fast break opportunity for the Knicks as Patrick Ewing will try to finish it off.
6 points for Ewing. Indiana now has committed 7 turnovers. The Knicks with only 2, a contrast to what took place in games 3 and 4.
Well, one of the big keys for the Knicks coming into this game 5 was that their point guards, both Harper and Anthony, have to be very assertive and aggressive. First at the defensive end, putting pressure on Workman and Fleming, and then also at the offensive end, either running the break or getting the Knicks quickly into their offense.
As Derek Harper says, he has to be more aggressive. He had the good game in game 2, but not the case in the 2 games played at Market Square. Antonio Davis and Vern Fleming have checked in for the Pacers. Here's Fleming getting the step. Rebound Fleming. Starks let it go wisely. It will be Nick Ball.
Pressure on the ball, deflections, challenging every shot, and John Starks doing an excellent job on Reggie Miller, denying him the ball almost every trip.
Just under 2 minutes remaining. In this first quarter, the Knicks have hit 10 of 15 from the field. That was not a good shot by Charles Oakley.
I think feeling it a little bit since he made his last one. Actually, that ball is supposed to go into Patrick Ewing, and that's really when the Knicks are at their best, when it goes inside and comes out cleanly.
Reggie Miller off, trying the three-pointer. So Reggie not able to get going. He's 1 for 4 from the field. In a moment, Byron Scott will check in. Ewing. And it's rebounded by Schmitz. Fleming pushes it down. Vern Fleming, another New York area product. McKee with a look away. Throws it off the mark.
I'm talking about how hard John Starks. Look how he has contact with Reggie Miller. You have to keep your hands on him and try to force him one way, which he has done. He's trying to take Reggie Miller away from his right hand. Reggie just outworks him there. But all that hard work by John Starks, it won't show up in any box score, but it is the way that the Knicks win basketball games.
Last touch by Indiana. Here comes Kenny Williams. Reggie Miller sitting down, so Reggie with a bucket for 2, 1 out of 4, replaced by Byron Scott, who says he's feeling better after taking that shot on the hip back in game 3. Anthony Mason has come on as Patrick Ewing puts it home. Beautiful lead pass from John Starks, who collects his 4th assist of this first quarter. The Knicks 28, the Pacers 12. Kenny Williams. Oakley try to keep it alive. Antonio Davis on the recovery.
There's that easy basket again. Hard work by the Knicks, just cannot corral the defensive rebound. Antonio Davis takes care of the miscue.
And again, the rebound by Antonio Davis. Half-minute left in this first quarter. Antonio Davis. And the foul is called. No, they say a goaltending call. The basket counts.
John Starks coming off a pick and roll off of Charles Oakley and finding Patrick Ewing on the weak side. The flipper by Antonio Davis, and as Patrick Ewing tries to get that rebound, Joey Crawford ruled that the ball was over the cylinder or over the rim. Looked like a good call.
So Davis gets credit for the field goal. Antonio Davis has come out assertive. That was not the case in the games here in New York earlier this series. So Larry Brown has to be pleased about that. Here's Ewing from deep. And with 0.6 of a second remaining in this first quarter, the ball back to the Pacers.
Well, the wild hook shot by Antonio Davis, but watch Patrick Ewing just take that off. Ball was probably not going to go in, but in the ruling of official Joe Crawford, it was over the cylinder, and that is goaltending.
Well, they reset the clock. 0.9 of a second to go. Antonio Davis looking to inbound. Fleming fires it. Well, a good sign for the Knicks. 11 field goals in this hot shooting first quarter, plus 10 assists. Patrick Ewing off to the fast start. 3 out of 5, 9 points. And the Knicks are up 28-16 after 1.
I know this has to be a difficult evening for you tonight.
It is. You know, I'm a huge Knicks fan. Grew up loving the Knicks, but I also grew up with Larry Brown. We're from the same hometown. My older brother played in a high school basketball team with him, and then he was a Clipper coach for a couple of years, you know. So my heart's in 2 places, but I'm a big Knicks fan.
So I guess that even after telling me that, you are still cheering for the Knicks.
Yeah, I'm cheering for the Knicks. My heart's for the Knicks, but I got at least a ventricle for Larry.
All right, thanks for joining me, man. All right, back to you, Mark.
Okay, a ventricle from Billy Crystal for Larry Brown. As the second quarter gets underway, Patrick Ewing extends to a 30-16 lead. Greg Anthony, who just came up with the steal, and here is Ewing. The Knicks looking exceptionally sharp. They've doubled the score. They lead 32-16.
Well, one of the keys for the Pacers in this game was to keep their turnovers down. They have 9 of them already in this first half for 15 New York points.
And the foul is called by Jack Madsen. It's on John Starks. That's the second for Starks, who is headed to the bench along with Ewing.
Well, it was what turnovers that killed the Knicks, with 26 of them in game 4. Just aggressiveness by Anthony to get this thing started. Over to Starks and Patrick Ewing running the floor and finishing.
Herb Williams and Hubert Davis come on for the first time. Williams now guarding Dale Davis. Fleming putting the move on Anthony. Anthony. Vern Fleming works his way inside. The Knicks 32 and the Pacers 18. Minute and a half gone by in the second quarter. Good start for Patrick Ewing. Sitting down with 13 points, 3 block shots. Here's Oakley from way out. And rebounded by Kenny Williams. Kenny Williams up front with Dale Davis and Antonio Davis. And a technical foul called on Anthony Mason. This has been a problem for Anthony Mason right throughout the season. He has not been able to discipline himself. Has been hit with a host of technical fouls because of, it's not only what he says, Matt, as Pat Riley has said, it's the tone, it's the way he says it, and officials will not accept it. And Dan Crawford just hit him with the tee.
Well, officials, you're right, Marvin. It may not even be the verbal tone. It's the way that you look at him in the open floor. And Mason was backtracking as he went over there. 22 technicals as he looks over to Danny Crawford as he is backpedaling here and points. And at his eye, and I don't, but was he just pointing at his eye and talking at the same time? But Danny Crawford didn't waste any time. He nailed it.
Well, what happens is Byron Scott unleashes too strong. And Mason comes up with the loose ball. Anthony Mason for Greg Anthony. Greg Anthony has been hitting the three-pointer. And it's handled now by Dale Davis. Back to the subject of Anthony Mason. What happens is always past history because this is ongoing right throughout the season. And I would think the threshold of acceptance on the part of the officials wanes after a while. You don't accept certain things from particular guys. Looked like Antonio Davis hurt his hand. Foul was called on Herb Williams.
Actually, Anthony Mason, I think, is going to get in there for the hack. And you're right, Marv. He has had his problems with officials, and they are waiting for him, it seems, every time. Antonio Davis with the ball inside with a little pump fake. Going to take it up towards the basket and draw the strong arm of Anthony Mason. And with his right hand there, he looks like he jammed it on the top and very, very sore as Mason bangs him hard to prevent the lay-in and put the weak free throw shooter on the line.
All right, right here, let's go to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, Antonio Davis, he has broken that right hand a couple of times, and every time he gets jammed on it, it's very painful. As you see, he just came over, and the trainer, David Craig, taped his middle 2 fingers together, and he is going to continue and play with it. Marv?
All right, Ahmad, Antonio Davis, only a 64% free throw shooter. The Knicks getting off quickly. They led 15-2 right at the start. They've led by as many as 16. And the good sign, the Knicks with 13 field goals plus 12 assists. They had only 14 assists in all of game number 4. So the offense clicking for the first time in 3 games. Anthony kicks it out. 2.5 gone by in the second quarter. Marv Albert with Matt Gukas and Ahmad Rashad.
Greg Anthony has to pick up where Derek Harper left off with that aggressiveness on defense to keep pressuring the ball as much as possible, giving too much ground there and making it an easy pass for Vern Fleming.
And Davis was stopped. Dale Davis rejected. It will be Indiana ball with 6 on the 24. Williams will throw it in. Just did get it in bounds. Antonio Davis. Dale Davis with the tip. And the Knicks now lead by 12.
Well, another key for the Pacers to try to win a ball game here in Madison Square Garden is to win the battle of the boards. They're doing that so far, 15-8.
Hubert Davis for Anthony Mason. Anthony Mason. And he'll head to the line. Anthony Mason played 31 minutes in game 4 and attempted only 1 shot. Foul called on Antonio Davis.
This time Anthony trying to take it in amongst the big people. One time earlier, about 2 or 3 trips ago, he had Byron Scott on his back and didn't realize it and passed the ball back out. One shot in 31 minutes, doing his best Dennis Rodman imitation. Yes. He did make 6 out of 6 from the free throw line, but has really wreaked havoc on the offensive board. The Pacers very much concerned when he's in the ball game, trying to keep him off the board. They feel he is throwing their players around, and sometimes he does.
He is a player who does get to the foul line frequently. Improved his free throw shooting at 72% for the season. The Knicks 33 and the Pacers 20. The Knicks 8-0 at home in the playoffs. 1 up, 6 down on the road in the playoffs. Fleming, nice feed. Antonio Davis rejected. Back comes Mason. 3-on-2. Davis. And Williams had to chase it. Mason. Not a good shot by Anthony Mason. Dale Davis has that nice shoulder fake. Could not complete it. Davis on the rebound. Knicks want to travel, but a foul has been called. Charles Smith called for his second.
Well, anytime there's something of a ball going up around the basket, those Davises are going to be around. This time, Herb Williams able to get a little bit of a deflection to knock that loose, but they keep coming at you. Getting to the offensive board and oftentimes play volleyball with it.
Al Davis has come back from a fractured bone in his left wrist. That was a major loss in the first half of the season. Hayward Workman checking back in, along with Reggie Miller. Byron Scott, Vern Fleming sit down. Indiana is 0 for 4 at the line.
Dale Davis 5 for 11 now. Now make it 5 for 12 in this series.
4 minutes gone by. Second quarter. And Antonio Davis called for the foul. Patrick Ewing making his return. Herb Williams will depart. Rick Smith comes on for Antonio Davis. The Knicks by 13. Gilbert Davis. Shot clock at 7. Here's Ewing, got the step, rejected by Smits. Reggie Miller has been quiet. Reggie Miller able to hit, although Hubert Davis had a piece of it.
Well, this is what concerns the New York coaching staff, whether or not Hubert Davis has the quickness and strength to stay with Reggie Miller. Reggie's not known as a one-on-one player, but he can put it on the floor a couple times and beat you to a spot.
The Knicks have missed their last 5 shots. It will be Indiana ball. Indiana Pacers during the regular season finished tied for 3rd in the Central, tied with the Cleveland Cavaliers, 10 games behind Atlanta, but they finished the regular season on fire. 8 straight wins, and then roared through the playoffs. First round, swept Orlando in 3, beat Atlanta in 6. And they've come back after trailing the Knicks 2 games to nothing to tie this series at 2. Foul committed by Smits. And for Rick, his second. Timeout is called with 6:52 to go. First half, the Knicks lead by 11. Low in games 3 and 4. They already have 12 assists in this first half. Gilbert Davis and Greg Anthony in the backcourt. Charles Smith, Anthony Mason, and Patrick Ewing up front. Knicks have missed their last 5 shots. Ewing was was being forced out by Smits, and the ball deflected out with 8 on the shot clock. Let's go to Ahmad.
All right, Mark, during that last timeout, Larry Brown telling his team that the Knicks have been shooting very well early on in the game, but his team is still in the game. He was also telling them that he wants them to continue to make the extra pass. And he wants the players to take the open shots when they have them. He feels like they're not taking the open shots. Mark?
All right, Ahmad, here's Ewing changing his mind. Davis for 3, and rebounded by Dale Davis. Reggie Miller now being guarded by Hubert Davis. Reggie Miller, nice move. He got the roll, and the Knicks now lead 33-24.
That's a patented Reggie Miller shot. It's a floater, which he takes a lot during the regular season, in which he normally gets fouled.
And the Knicks turn it over. Greg Anthony trying to save that pass. Here's Hayward Workman. And the Pacers give it back. Indiana claiming it was deflected out by the Knicks. The Pacers in the midst of an 8-1 run to cut it to a 9-point lead. Larry Brown still upset about that last call. He felt the Knicks knocked it out of bounds.
Well, the knowledgeable crowd here in New York thought that Hayward Workman walked with the ball when he did that little hop step in the lane. Some people get away with it, some don't.
Charles Smith with a strong move. Smith 4 out of 5 for 8 points. Knicks 35, the Pacers 24. Nice give and go between McKee and Workman. Oh, Hayward Workman took a shot as he went down after completing the drive. Smith getting all kinds of room this evening. Rebounded by Dale Davis. Pacers have worked their way back into it. Down by 9. Trailing by as many as 16 in the first quarter. Here is McKee. And Oakley with the rebound.
Actually, Patrick Ewing doing a good job there. Couldn't get the rebound himself, but kept it alive over to his teammate, Oakley.
Reaching foul on Smith. And that is his 3rd personal.
Well, on Ahmad's report, talking about what Larry Brown is saying is keep the ball moving and cut, and the good give and go gets Workman the easy lay-in. And Smith's a big factor for the Pacers, and he is foul prone. During the regular season, fouled out of 11 games, and one of the rare times in this series that Patrick Ewing has stepped in and covered up and got that kind of position against Spitz, and it's important for the Knicks to keep him in foul trouble.
Back comes Workman. With the pull-up. Derek Hopper handling against Hayward Workman. John Starks for 3. Derek McKee putting the move on Charles Smith. And it was a gorgeous move.
Well, not a bad three-point shot by John Starks. He caught it in rhythm, let it go. But long shots like that, when they miss, turn into long rebounds, which turn into fast break opportunities.
Knicks only 3 of 12 from the field in the second quarter following a good start. Nice defensive play by Miller, causing the turnover.
Well, here's the fast break chance that the Pacers get off that long rebound. Derek McKee, who's got a lot of skill in his ball handling. The nice crossover move on Charles Smith.
Together during the course of the off-season at Georgetown. John Thompson has been making the rounds during the playoffs, checking out the Kempe and his Denver Nuggets and spending much time watching Patrick Ewing and his New York Knicks. 35-28. That Knick lead 116 is now only 7. Antonio Davis came up short, and it's handled by Charles Oakley. Starks and Hopper in the backcourt. Oakley, Smith, and Ewing on the front line.
During that last time out, Ahmad Rashad near the Indiana Pacer huddle talking, hearing Larry Brown talk to his team about getting more pressure defensively, start denying the passes, and try to keep the Knicks from reversing the ball. And of course, that's what the Knicks want to do, because when they do it, they get better opportunities to get it inside of Ewing or get a good shot in rhythm.
The Knicks only 3 of 12 in the second quarter. Indiana 6 of 14 from the field. Pretty backdoor pass leading to the foul. Charles Oakley reacting to the cutting Dale Davis.
John Starks following Miller hard. Patrick Ewing going to come up with a big show to deny the ball to Miller, but that opens up that passing lane to Dale Davis, and good help. And that's what the Knicks chart, help plays like that, as Charles Oakley read the play from the weak side, came over, couldn't block the shot because he doesn't have lift, but took the hard foul to put the poor free throw shooter on the line.
A brick thrown by Dale Davis, and Matt, the next successful free throw by the Pacers will be their first 0 for 6 at the line. Make it 0 for 7 from the foul line.
And to win a game on the road in this kind of a series, you have to get a number of fast breaks and certainly convert them. And of course, you got to make your free throws. It's going to be a low-scoring game.
Starks hits the three. That's his second from downtown tonight. Starks has 8 points. The Knicks 38. The Pacers 28. 3 minutes remaining, first half. Miller putting the move on Starks. Reggie Miller. Beautiful shot on a fadeaway jumper. His 4th field goal. He is 4 for 7 for 8 points. And the Knicks lead is now 8. Ewing. And Oakley gets the second chance. Hopper for 3. And the boards swept by Dale Davis. The ball will go back to the Knicks.
Well, John Starks, tenacious defense on Miller, making him work very hard. He doesn't foul him this time. Tries to get over the top, but Reggie Miller is going to earn this one as he has to put it on the floor and fade away on it. And Pat Riley and the Knicks really won't mind those kind of field goals by Reggie when he has to work.
Reggie Miller has hit his last 3. Knicks setting up a play. Ewing with the high pick. Starks for 3 again. John Starks is a street shooter, and he's in the midst of one right here. The Knicks lead by 11. Just under 2 minutes to go. First half illegal defense called for the second time. So that leads to the technical.
Knicks running their little screen roll on the left side. Actually, Harper wanted to get the ball back to Ewing, something he didn't do in game 4. That was shut down, but the lane down and open in the middle took that, drew the defense, and a nice kick out to John Starks.
Well, Reggie Miller getting the treatment from the crowd, as he usually does here at Madison Square Garden. Anthony Mason is back, replacing Charles Smith. It's been a good one for Charles Smith. 4 out of 7, 8 points, 4 rebounds. Workman stopped by Harper. Miller again with the fadeaway. Harper penetrated and rejected. He claims he was fouled. The alley-oop. Antonio Davis could not put it down. But the Knicks turn it over. John Starks upset. And we don't take that personally, Matt. He did kick the NBA on NBC sign. But we know there was nothing personal involved.
I think John's a little upset with me. I don't know about you, Mark.
Oh? Tell us about it.
When we have time.
All right, here's McKee. And back comes Starks. John Starks called for palming the ball. Is he upset about something you said on a telecast?
Last one, yeah, when he did not take that charge on Dale Davis, and I said that that would not look good when the team looked at the tape. It did not look good. But he didn't want me bringing it up. It's John Starks made a nice crossover move with the left hand and did get his hand under the ball he carried. Good call by Jack Madden.
And a technical foul has been called on Derek Harper.
Now, it's interesting there on that turnover by John Starks. He did the wise thing. He just turned around and ran back down the other end and didn't complain about the call. And Derek Harper complaining about 2 plays ago when he made that drive to the basket and his shot was blocked by Derek McKee. Once that play is over, forget about it. Go to the next one.
The Pacers 1 for 9 at the line. Knicks lead by 10 as we come up on 1 minute remaining in this first half. Shot clock at 5. Workman pounding it. And a loose ball foul called against the Knicks. It's called on Oakley, his second. The Knicks are now over the foul limit.
Oh, we've had a couple of recent firsts in the closing minutes of the second quarter. Before Reggie Miller missed that technical free throw, he made the first one right before that. And about 2 trips ago, Charles Oakley got the first offensive rebound for New York. And one of the reasons why he has not been on the boards is he's standing out on the perimeter looking for that jump shot.
Just a horrendous free throw shooting performance by the Pacers in the first half. Antonio Davis is 0 for 3. Indiana 1 for 10 at the line. Antonio Davis saying thank you. He will take that role. The Knicks lead by 9. Light pressure being shown by the Pacers. Ewing from Mason. The Knicks like to see the big man, Anthony Mason, who handles the ball so well, handle it against the pressure.
And make the nice, easy pass where the man can catch and shoot it. He had the ball in the middle on a 3-on-2 earlier in the ballgame and made a careless pass. It just takes a little bit more care.
McKee with a beautiful move. Derek McKee with 8 points. He's played well in this first half. Knicks will hold for a final shot. They are up 43-34. Time running down in the first half. We are now down to 10 seconds to go. Oakley trying to set a pick. Hopper for 3. And a loose ball foul. It's against the Knicks. It's on Ewing. For Ewing, his second. Knicks over at the limit. So Indiana back to the line with 3 7/10 seconds remaining in the half.
Well, you hate to pick up a cheap foul in that situation as Patrick Ewing shaking his head. He just put his hands out ever so slightly, but enough to have that play roll. But Derek Harper in that little screen roll situation, instead of ducking behind that pick, has to come off a couple of dribbles, make the defense react, either throw the ball back to the screener or try to penetrate and kick out to a shooter.
Antonio Davis now 2 of 5 from the line, and Indiana 3 for 11. And a timeout, a 20-second timeout has been called by the Knicks. The Knicks lead is now 8. They've led by as many as 16. Game 6 of this best of 7 Eastern Conference final will take place Friday night at Market Square Arena in Indianapolis. Indiana Pacers have not lost at home, as the Knicks are well aware, since back on the 8th of April. They are 10-0 since then. They won the last 4 of the regular season, and they are 6-0 in the playoffs at Market Square. But Indiana did win its first 2 playoff series against Orlando and Atlanta without having that home court advantage.
And in the beginning of this series, looked like they lacked the confidence to beat a team like New York. And, of course, that can happen on a floor like this. They certainly regained it in games 3 and 4. We're talking like they felt they could beat the Knicks here. They have to be very happy to be only down 8 at this point. Pat Riley taking that 20-second timeout with 3.7. Now, Patrick Ewing, who has 2 personal fouls, he's at the other end of the floor. No doubt the Knicks will have Charles Oakley step out of bounds if it's made or even if it's missed and try to throw the long pass to Ewing. You'd hate to have him commit an offensive foul in this setting.
Antonio Davis shooting his second. Whoa! He hit glass. Did not hit the rim. And it's too late. Would not have counted. So, a familiar scenario. Another low-scoring half. The Knicks 43, the Pacers 35. John Starks with a good start, 4 of 8, 11 points. Patrick Ewing 6 for 10 for 15. Reggie Miller leading Indiana with 9. Derek McKee with 8. Bob Costas and the Prudential halftime report coming up in a moment. The third quarter, Charles Oakley came into tonight's game with a sprained left ankle. For more on that, let's go to Ahmad.
Thanks, Marv. I just talked with Oakley during the warm-ups. He says that foot has become very sore. It's very tough to play on it, so we'll keep an eye on it during this course of this second half. Marv?
All right, in the first half, Oakley 2 of 6 from the field, 6 points, 6 rebounds. Charles Smith getting the good room down low. That's been the story right throughout. He now has 10 points.
Well, he has come out aggressively in the first quarter, now in the third, with the idea of taking the ball to the basket. He can get that jump shot anytime.
Here's Rick Smits. Very quiet first half for Smits. That's his third field goal. He has 6 points. Rick Smits has played Patrick Ewing, at least over the first 4 games, to a standstill. That a major factor in this series. A series that is tied at 2. Larry Brown and Reggie Miller told us prior to the game. Eric Harper getting it inside for Patrick Ewing with the shot clock running down. And the Knicks now lead by 10. Larry and Reggie saying that this tonight is the biggest game in the history of the Indiana Pacers. That's the NBA history of the franchise. Much success for the Pacers during their ABA days. Workman converts on the jump shot. Indiana Pacers in their ABA days won 3 championships. The last time back in 1973 as they beat the Kentucky Colonels. Smith called for that foul, and that is his 4th.
Well, Indiana taking advantage of Patrick Ewing fronting the post and form a triangle on the right side, get the ball out to a good passer, Jarrett McKee, who has the easy lob pass to the 7'4" Rick Smits, but he is going to have to go to the bench as he hammers Charles Smith going to the hole. Hayward Workman doing a good job of denying the ball. Harper as one more time Smits trying to block that shot, but Smith using his body very well to draw that contact.
And it is a rare trip to the foul line for Charles Smith. Rick Smith sits down. Antonio Davis now will have to contend with the taller Patrick Ewing. Davis comes on for Smits. Charles Smith has gone to the line only 4 times the first 4 games. Hits 2 right here. He has 12 points. And the Knicks lead by 10 with a minute and a half gone by in the third quarter. Nice fake by McKee, and he was held by Smith.
Oh, that quick spin move to the baseline surprised Charles Smith. All he could do was try to reach out and grab. This is an excellent move, but Robert Parrish has done so well for so long.
Indiana opening the third quarter as Harper tried to strip Workman and Miller in the backcourt. McKee, Dale Davis, and Antonio Davis up front as Workman hits again. 6 points for Workman. Antonio Davis coming on for the foul play. Rick Smits.
Well, that's 2 times in a row that Harper has left his man Workman, who's a 33% shooter from the field in this series, and he's nailed 2 of them.
John Starks trying the 3, hit 2 in the first half. Miller for Antonio Davis. Offensive foul. Second foul committed by Davis.
Reggie Miller coming off on the 2-man play. Nice little bounce pass, and Patrick Ewing doing a good job of making the rotation. And when you're rotating to not necessarily good outside shooter, although Antonio Davis can make 15-footers, Patrick Ewing got to the perfect spot.
Oakley, yes. 8 points for Oakley. The Knicks 51. The Pacers 41.
Well, the Knicks only have 1 offensive rebound. Oakley has that. He's been hanging on the perimeter. I think a lot of it has to do with that sore foot. He's trying to save himself for the defensive end, and he'll pop that outside jumper.
That was a good look for Reggie Miller. Beautifully set screen. Harper eluding McKee. Smith on the run. Smith off the drive. And he'll go back to the line.
Well, whoever said to Charles Smith, get yourself aggressive, start taking the ball to the basket with authority, and good things will happen for you, whether it was somebody on the coaching staff or Charles Smith made up his own mind. He is certainly making a valuable contribution to New York here tonight, one that they desperately need from that small forward spot, which is what Pat Riley was telling us earlier.
There's Charles Smith making it back this season from the arthroscopic knee surgery, and his scoring averages over the years have certainly dipped off. Got the playing time as a member of the LA Clippers. He has been in and out of the Knicks lineup at first. Did not adjust to the change in position. Then had the knee problems, did not play well for a spell. Foul is called. Starks raising his hand, and he is hit with his third.
A little surprised John Starks got himself caught underneath the basket, but there again, the natural instincts of the Knicks players to help out on that whip pass. Starks winds up with Davis, and knowing that he is not a good free throw shooter and struggling tonight from the line, 3 for 13 in the series. Better put him on the line rather than give him a dunk.
The Knicks lead by 12. And you see Dale Davis 0 for 5 at the line. It will be Nick Ball, last touched by Dale Davis. Indiana now 3 of 15 at the foul line. Reaching foul call. Derek McKee called for his third. So Smith sitting down with 4. McKee has 3. For the Knicks, 3 apiece on Smith and Starks. 8.5 remaining in this third quarter. Smith facing a double team, able to weave inside.
Charles Smith has been the primary option here to start the third period. Looking for him first on the post. If they don't get it, then they'll swing it around and look inside to Patrick Ewing at the end of the shot clock.
We're seeing a performance by Charles Smith that has rarely been seen here at the Garden this season. 10 points for Derek McKee, and the Knicks now lead 55-43. 16 points for Charles Smith. Patrick Ewing leading the Knicks with 17. Smith with 8 of his 16 here in the third quarter. Shot clock at 5. Starks with the finger roll. McKee handling it. Miller for 3. And rebounded by Smith. With the ball and a 12-point lead. Oakley with no hesitation goes too strong. And the rebound handled by Antonio Davis.
Again, Charles hanging on the perimeter and taking that long jumper too readily.
Antonio Davis bit out of his range. Workman now played on a switch by Ewing. Looking for the mismatch, and he found it. McKee diving on the floor, but Ewing took it out of his hands, and they'll jump it up. Joe Crawford with the call, but first Pat Riley takes a timeout. 6:51 remaining in the third. The Knicks have a 12-point advantage. Knicks lead by 12. The jump ball called on the tie-up. Ewing going against McKee. And the Knicks control. The Knicks with a backcourt of Harper and Starks. Ewing, Oakley, and Smith up front. That was intended for Ewing.
And a little too fast and too hard, and really Patrick Ewing not even getting a chance to get his hands up. Antonio Davis does a good job of pushing Patrick Ewing out or fronting him. That time he got around in front of you. And the Knicks are really not a good lob passing team. They've gotten away with a couple to Charles Smith, but they don't do it well.
Miller putting the move on Starks. Went to the pull-up. And Harper on the rebound. Reggie Miller now 4 of 11. He has 9 points. Harper trying to go all the way, and he was hit. Hayward Workman trying to knock it loose and made contact. Call for his third foul.
Well, a concerted effort by Workman to put more pressure on Harper at the start of this third period. And when you are getting that kind of pressure, you should look to drop your head and penetrate.
And a hold called on Miller. That's the limit.
I think Reggie Miller's starting to get a little bit frustrated with the way that John Starks has played him, and it has not been a talking type of thing. He's just played him very well and made him work for everything. And Reggie Miller just caught with a little bit of a grab on John Starks.
John Starks has been off at the free throw line, usually a very fine free throw shooter. In fact, earlier in the playoffs against Chicago, he hit 11 of 11 at the line.
9 for 18 in the series coming into this ballgame, and that one was a little bit lucky as John started to back up as he released it. Not as confident as he normally is right now.
But for Starks, this one of his better games of the playoffs. 13 points, 7 assists, and again has done a good job against Reggie Miller. 6 minutes to go in the third. Ball knocked away from Dale Davis. Jump ball is called.
Trademark defense by the New York Knicks against the two-man play on screen and rolls. 99 times out of 100, they trap it, and then when they rotate, they are very, very active and put pressure on it and knock this one loose to force yet another jump ball.
Charles Oakley going against a man who can leap, Dale Davis. In fact, Larry Brown uses Dale Davis on the opening tips rather than Rick Smith's, and Indiana controlling. Knicks lead 57-43. They have led all the way. They open the game with a 15-2 lead. Here's Miller for three. Reggie Miller getting the room and was able to knock down the three-pointer. The Knicks lead by 11. And for the Pacers, their first successful shot from downtown. They're 3 of 28 in the series. Offensive foul is called on Smith, and that is 4 on Charles Smith.
Well, this time with a little bit of a nudge, Reggie Miller able to shake loose of John Starks, catches this one with the feet squared up. And when he has that kind of time and that kind of room as Reggie Miller trying to duck on the top side over the screen of Charles Smith. And they call that foul on Charles Smith as he looks incredulously. What did I do?
Charles Smith hearing it from the crowd as he is replaced by Anthony Mason. Strong game for Smith. 16 points, 6 rebounds. Shot clock down to 4. Workman, yes. Hayward Workman has hit 4 out of 8. He has 8 points. And the Pacers have cut it to that Knick lead. It's down to 9 with just under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hopper with room for 3. Derek Hopper has not been hitting the outside shot. 60-48. The Knicks with the lead. Antonio Davis. No call. Last touched by Ewing as it carried out of bounds.
Well, when Antonio Davis makes up his mind he's going to take the ball to the basket, he doesn't care who is in front of him. And Patrick Ewing, standing and waiting, takes the hit hard and goes hard to the floor. No whistle.
4:33 remaining in the third, and the Knicks lead by 12. Game 2 of this series last Thursday night here in New York. Reggie Miller, showing his frustration, stepped out of bounds after stealing the ball, took it out on a computer printer at the official scorer's table. We asked Reggie about his outburst leading to his throwing a punch at that courtside statistical printer.
I know I was going to go out there and shoot around and look for it. But I guess they put it in the bag, so I feel kind of bad about it. But, you know, it's part of the game, so I'm sorry.
We said literally it was a technical foul.
That's a good one, Mark.
Thank you very
much. I like that.
Well, the guys at the official scorer's table not taking any chances. That's the one that was broken just in case they have 2 courtside statistical printers should Reggie get upset and want to take a swipe at one once again.
And with Reggie, you also have to hide the sawdust at the other end of the floor. Every time he wants to go to the free throw line, he wants to dust off. It's fine at his end of the floor, but you don't want to help him.
And the officials checking with each other. Joey Crawford with the outside look blowing his whistle. Dan Crawford and Jack Madden in disagreement. Pat Riley says, why not jump it up?
Well, Oakley and Davis going for the ball. It looks like Dale Davis knocked that ball out of bounds as he had the inside position. And, of course, he's got the longer reach over Oakley.
But it is called. Indiana ball. 12-point lead by the Knicks. 4:25 remaining in the third. Workman played tightly by Harper. Shot clock at 6. Shot clock at 3. Workman had to force it. And Oakley with the rebound.
Well, that's the kind of defense that the Knicks have played all night long. Pressure on the ball, forcing tough shots, keeping Indiana from getting into any smooth set offense.
And the call away from the ball as Ewing was pushed by Dale Davis. That's 3 on Dale Davis.
And Davis telling the official that he flopped here as Davis trying to push him out a little bit. And with a little bit of acting, Patrick Ewing able to get the whistle from the referees. But it's so important when you're guarding Patrick Ewing to knock him off that block. But you have to be very careful how you do it. You cannot root him out with your knee. You're allowed to shove with one forearm.
Indiana's been over the limit for some time. Ewing kind of short on that free throw. The Knicks had hit 12 of 13 from the line. And Patrick had hit his first 3. The crowd trying to get it going.
Well, neither team can get anything going offensively in the half court because the defense has been so aggressive that every pass now has been challenged. And it's very difficult to get the ball into the post where normally there's going to be some kind of a double team, especially against the Patrick Ewing.
The Knicks have a 13-point lead. And the foul called on Mason. He and McKee were battling for position.
Same thing at the other end as the smaller Anthony Mason at 6'7" going to push 6'10" Derek McKee way outside. But officials trying to keep that part of the game under control because it could get out of hand.
Burns running down the backcourt with Reggie Miller, who fires. Rebounded by Antonio Davis. A new 24 for the Pacers. Starks trying to draw the foul. The official, Joe Crawford, did not go for it. A little acting by John Starks. Reggie Miller now has 14 points. The Knicks lead 61-50. Bad pass. Wild one thrown by Oakley. Charles Oakley had 8 turnovers the other day in Indiana. Here's Miller. Rebounded by Antonio Davis. And now he is fouled. Charles Oakley getting a little casual, a little sloppy with his passing, and it has hurt the last couple of games.
Well, there was the shove-off by Reggie Miller to just knock John Starks back a little bit before he nailed that jumper. Just a mild complaint by John Starks as he wisely went back and played basketball. Right before this offensive rebound by Antonio Davis, Reggie tried another one of his floaters. Patrick Ewing challenged the shot, could not get it, but that enabled Antonio Davis, the man Ewing was guarding, to get a clean run at an offensive rebound.
Byron Scott and LaSalle Thompson, couple of veterans, checking back in. That is Dale Davis sitting down. Indiana now 4 of 16 at the line. Antonio Davis, who hauled down that rebound, now has 8. And the Pacers are doing it off the offensive boards, 9-1.
And Bert Fleming putting up double fist, possibly looking for a random trap in this situation. If they can get a run and jump situation, none has shown up yet.
Mason played by McKee. Starks wide open. Yes. John Starks hitting his 4th three-pointer. 16 points for Starks. The Knicks 64 and the Pacers 52. And the Knicks are 5 of 10 from three-point land. LaSalle Thompson. Throw it away. Ewing played by Thompson. Knicks swinging the ball. And a foul on Thompson. LaSalle Thompson has seen very limited action in this series. Pacers actually surprised that he's been able to come back. They thought he was out the rest of the playoffs after he suffered the broken bone in his left hand in game 1 of the series. against the Orlando Magic.
Well, it is over a month ago. A lot of things could have happened in that time period, as it was done on April 28th, the first game, as he just inadvertently bumped into Shaquille O'Neal and broke a bone in that hand. The Knicks did a good job of showing a lot of patience that time and getting the ball inside to Patrick Ewing on a transition play. Their offense just looks so much better. Now, a lot of that is because the defense has been so good. They've gotten so many fast breaks that will even make the New York Knicks offense look pretty at times.
Ewing 5 for 6 at the line. The Knicks lead 66-52 as we approach 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Marv Albert, Matt Guokas, and Ahmad Rashad before a sellout crowd at Madison Square Garden. Here's Vern Fleming. Yes, and it counts. Vern Fleming with a beautiful move, and he drew the foul.
Well, Vern Fleming does a very good job using his left hand, as he always goes very well to the left. He has to change it over to the right hand, but you saw that graphic before. Patrick Ewing just 1 rebound. He did block 4 shots in the first half, changed a few more, and he's been going after everything in the third quarter. And when you're that active, you're not going to get a lot of rebounds.
Another offensive rebound for Indiana. Down by 12. Byron Scott trying to shake loose. Thompson with a good pass. Thompson for Antonio Davis. Very impressive numbers now for Antonio Davis. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 10-point Knick lead. They trap Hopper. Minute and a half remaining in this third quarter. Shot clock at 7. Mason. And rebounded by Thompson, who's done a nice job. Scott. Antonio Davis. Brown wanted to travel. He lost it.
Well, we've seen a number of real nice spin moves on the baseline. Very difficult to defend when that offensive player makes that quick move. And if you're standing straight up, your first reaction is put your hands out.
Hopper will reset. 50 seconds remaining in the third. Starks with room. And Mason recovers. Knicks get the new 24. Ewing drawing the double team. Oakley lost it. Starks recaptures. Here's Starks for Oakley. And a foul call.
Well, the Knicks in a hurry here with the situation where they're trying to get 2 shots for 1, and there's now 28.8 seconds. I believe that's a .8. Yes, it is, left in the quarter. And John Starks rushing things in there, drawing the defense, and now we have another technical foul.
Larry Brown has been working the sidelines in aggressive fashion, at least vocally. And he is called for the technical foul. John Starks will shoot it.
Larry giving the rabbit ear signal to referee Danny Crawford, I guess objecting to the fact that Charles Oakley didn't deserve to get put on the free throw line, as he just kind of leaned his body in. There's no way that Charles Oakley is himself bothered by that sore foot. He's not active on the offensive board. He's kind of hanging on the perimeter at the offensive end, trying to do his best. His defensive end has forced a couple of shots and some passes, but he wants to be out on the floor and make a contribution to his team in this crucial 5th game.
Charles Oakley 2 of 2 from the line. 8 points, 9 rebounds. 28 seconds remaining in the third. Greg Anthony has not seen much action here tonight. He's checking in. Placing Derek Hopper. LaSalle Thompson now departs. Knicks lead 67-56. Indiana Pacers have lost 11 straight here at Madison Square Garden and 31 of their last 33. A different story at home. They have won their last 10 straight games overall at home, going back to the regular season. Shot clock is at 5. Fleming with another nice move. 7 seconds to go in the quarter. The Knicks lead by 10. Mason for Herb Williams. The former Indiana Pacer, Herb Williams, extends the Knicks lead as time runs out in this third quarter. And in this third, the Knicks were led by Charles Smith. 8 of his 16 points in the third. The Knicks 70, the Pacers 58. We'll be back after a word from your local station. For the Knicks, that is a very high point total. When you consider they had 77 in Game 4 and 69 for all of Game 3. Let's say 68 in Game 3. Rick Smits with the move on Herb Williams. Rick Smits playing with 4 fouls. Greg Anthony in the backcourt with John Starks, Herb Williams, Anthony Mason, and Charles Oakley up front. Starks looking for the screen. Starks rebounded by Kenny Williams. And Vern Fleming moves down. Fleming and Miller in the backcourt. Here's Miller. Yes, that's a 3 for Reggie Miller. 17 points for Miller. And the Knicks now lead by 9.
And Reggie's starting to chirp a little with some people on the front row. Not in John Starks, but the Knicks, of course, pride themselves on their fourth quarter defense. We'll see.
Oakley, foul. Also caught Fleming in the throat on the follow-through. Rick Smits called for the foul. His 5th. Vern Fleming shake it up. And that's the Indiana trainer, David Craig, checking him out.
Of course, Vern Fleming has had some tough injuries this year. None tougher than when Shaquille O'Neal fell on top of him, and he lost 15 teeth as they went through his lower lip, and also took a gash on his knee for 12 big stitches as Charles Oakley's follow-through trying to catch Vern Fleming right in that throat area, and he's in a lot of pain right now. Rick Smits is just having an awful game, and of course that was a big key for Indiana coming in. Not only has he not scored, he's had the foul problems and 6 turnovers, which got the Knicks started off on the right foot in the first quarter.
And this had been a solid series for the 7'4" Rick Smits. He's played only 18 minutes, scored only 6 points. The Knicks 72 and the Pacers 61. So Workman now in the backcourt with Miller. Dale Davis up front, along with LaSalle Thompson and Kenny Williams. Gilbert Davis, who just checked in, called for the foul. Matt, I believe this is a new playoff record. Most Davises on the floor in a single game. Gilbert Davis for the Knicks, Antonio and Dale Davis for the Pacers. We'll have to check out the record book. Miller's pass broken up. And it will be Indiana ball. Let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, Vern Fleming, as you just called it, took a shot to the throat, and he is now, they're applying the cure-all ice to it, and he appears to be fine, and he will be able to come back into the game. Marv?
Reggie Miller is fine. Once again, hits from downtown. He has 20 points. And that Knick lead has been trimmed to 8. And one stretch they led by as many as 16 that was back in the first half. A minute 45 in, fourth quarter. Thompson jumping out for the steal, and that is fouled by Davis. LaSalle Thompson has done an excellent job in very limited time.
And Hubert Davis is having all kinds of problems now with Reggie Miller as he tried to go over the screen, and when you do that, it gives Reggie Miller all kinds of time to line that shot up. You have to follow him hard and then trust your teammates are going to help you.
Miller comes off the pick. Outplayed by Anthony. Thompson setting the screen. Screen and roll. Thompson picked up by Oakley. Shot clock at 5. Workman. And the rebound handled by Dale Davis. And poked away. Ewing established establishing position, but Thompson saw the pass coming, and he does it again.
Well, they're telling McGrath the passes, and they are bounce passes and very slow. And Thompson, who's not the fleetest of foot, is able to get a hand and knock him loose.
Here's Williams. Kenny Williams with a nice move. And the Pacers on a roll have come within 6. Timeout called by the Knicks.
Well, this little bounce pass out here. On the other hand, Patrick Ewing has to protect that passer instead of continuing to fight for that position. Step out and catch the pass as Kenny Williams finishes off the play at the other end.
Miller Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
Today's Miller Moment takes a look at recent eventful Game 5s for the Knicks. Last year's conference finals, Knicks and Bulls tied 2 games apiece. Charles Smith with 4 chances to give the Knicks a 1-point lead with time running out, but Smith was stopped, and the Bulls eliminated the Knicks in 6 games. And then the Knicks and the Bulls, Game 5 of this year's conference semifinals. The Knicks down by 1. Hubert Davis missed the shot, but a foul called on Scottie Pippen with just 2.1 seconds left. Davis hitting both free throws. The Knicks won at 87-86, finished off the Bulls in 7 games. In recognition of those moments, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. And a 5-second violation call. So it will be Indiana ball. 9:25 remaining in the 4th. And the Pacers within 6. Kept alive again by Dale Davis. Here's Miller. Swings away and hits. Reggie Miller is on fire. He has 22, and Indiana has moved within 4.
Well, it looks like Reggie is going to try to carry that offense on his shoulders. He keeps looking over to that sideline. And as a comment after every time he makes a field goal.
It's the closest the Pacers have been since the early moments when it was 7-2. A turnover committed by the Knicks. Patrick Ewing not able to handle that pass from Hubert Davis. Let's go to a live.
During that last timeout, Larry Brown telling his players that when Reggie Miller comes off the pick and they double Reggie, he wants you to kick it back to the point guard and enable Haywood Workman to take the open jump shot.
Well, Reggie Miller has been getting the open shot in the second half. He now has 22 points in all. Indiana in the midst of a 10-2 run. Down by only 4. LaSalle Thompson with the ball has been a major factor. Miller open again. His foot on the line. That's a 2-pointer. And Reggie Miller in an animated discussion with Spike Lee, who is an ardent Knicks fan and has a courtside seat. I think Spike has him revved up.
Well, he can't get John Starks to talk to him, or Hubert Davis, or anybody on the Knicks. So he's talking to the fans.
Another Knick turnover. Here's Workman, and he's fouled by Hoffer.
Reggie Miller losing John Starks this time for the wide open shot. His right foot was on the line, and Reggie will have something to say to Spike Lee. A 12-2 run now by the Pacers as Pat Riley, after that timeout, came out with Derek Harper and John Starks not happy at all with the way Greg Anthony and Hubert Davis were defending.
And Reggie Miller has accounted for 10 of the 12 Indiana points here in the 4th quarter. Reggie Miller giving the choke sign to Spike Lee. Spike is appealing to the official, Dan Crawford. I don't think that Spike realizes he's not in the game. It does not matter what Reggie does in the direction of Spike Lee. He wants a taunting foul called on Reggie. Reggie's taunting Spike Lee.
After every field goal.
Game tied at 72. 4 minutes gone by. Again, LaSalle Thompson is able to steal the pass. Now, I would think the Knicks would realize that there's something wrong at this point. That's 3 entry passes that LaSalle Thompson has picked off.
Well, it's twofold. It's the passer not getting low enough below the free. Look at this shot.
And he hits it. It's a 3-pointer for Reggie Miller, who again is staring in the direction of, yes, that man. The Pacers lead 75-72 with 7:39 remaining in the 4th quarter.
And good defense by there. You're playing a man 26, 27 feet away from the basket, and Reggie Miller has one idea on his mind right now, and that's shoot the ball every time he touches it.
Would you guess that there will not be a future acting role in Reggie's movie career with Spike? Shot. We talked about that with Reggie Miller.
You know, I don't go out there to start trouble or anything like that, but you know, in this game, everyone talks. You know, it's just not me. I mean, Derek Harper was talking just as much as I was, but because people think I'm known for it, and I'm the one who gets all the headlines for it. So, you know, we're just out there. I call it psychological warfare. Everyone's trying to get an edge. So, everyone knows how to play this game physically, but I think mentally is what gets people over the edge.
Well, Reggie Miller has been using what he calls the psychological warfare to his advantage. But for the most part, it has not been with Knicks players. The taunting has been with Knicks fan, movie director Spike Lee.
Well, none of the Knicks players will respond to him, and clearly the Knicks are shaken right now. Offensively, they almost threw that ball away as Anthony Mason had his head turned and having all kinds of problems getting the ball inside to Patrick Ewing. The passer not doing a good job. Patrick not doing a good job of protecting that passer. And you got a man on fire in Reggie Miller right now, so the Knicks are reeling.
Reggie Miller with 13 of his 27 points here in the fourth quarter. LaSalle Thompson has come off the bench and done a superb job. And with that big body, he's also been effective at setting picks to allow Miller to unleash in this fourth quarter. 5 minutes into the fourth. Here's Miller again. Reggie Miller with 30 points, and the Pacers lead by 5.
Well, the whole Pacer offense right now is everybody look to set a screen for Reggie Miller, and he'll do the rest of the work. Work his man off that screen, set up, and shoot the ball. And it doesn't really look like anything he can do right now. He's so far away on the floor to double team him, and John Starks is working very hard.
And remember, most of Miller's points the other day as Harper misfires on the three, most of his points came at the foul line. It was 17 for 19. He has not had this kind of shooting performance. 16 of his 30 have come in the fourth quarter. Here's Kenny Williams, rebounded by Charles Oakley. Indiana has outscored the Knicks 20-3 in the fourth. Well, apparently they changed that last shot to a two-pointer. He had stepped on the line. And here's Harper for 3. Indiana leads by 5. Miller's in his last 4 shots. Here's Miller for 3. Yes! Oh, Pat Riley calls for time. Just an astounding shooting exhibition being put on by Reggie Miller. And now we're told they did not change it to a three-point shot. Here's a look at the last 3 by Reggie Miller, but it appeared that Miller did step on the line. This a previous shot. All right, Miller teeing it up, Matt. Put on the line. That should have been a 2, but they counted it as a 3.
Well, again, that time, Dale Davis out of control on a fast break, jumped in the air and had to twist his body in a very awkward position to throw it outside to Reggie Miller. And for some unknown reason, Charles Smith was just running away, and there was Reggie Miller standing wide open. Anybody on the Knicks is going to have to find this guy and stay with him and try and deny the basketball. The craziest thing was the play before Kenny Williams took a shot. I don't know why.
Reggie Miller, 42% from three-point land for the season. First 2 rounds, you see he shot well. Not the case going into today, but tonight, 6 of 11 from three-point land. 5 for 5 from downtown in this fourth quarter. 19 points for Miller in the fourth. He has destroyed the Knicks, and the Knicks have gone cold. They're trailing by 8 points. Foul is called. Foul on Kenny Williams. Correction is on LaSalle Thompson. And now Antonio Davis will come on, along with Derek McKee and LaSalle Thompson being greeted back at the bench. What a terrific effort. The type of effort that will not show up on the stat sheet.
Well, his main job was to put that big body on the baseline and knock people off to get Reggie Miller those clean looks. And Reggie, of course, has done the rest.
Hopper through the foul. Meanwhile, Patrick Ewing has attempted only 2 shots in the second half. He is 0 for 2 from the field. This after the strong first half.
Well, they can't get the ball to Patrick Ewing. It's a 23-3 run. This ball game started out as the Knicks ran off and led 28-16, only led by 8 points at the halftime, and Larry Brown told him that he said to his team, hey, for as poorly as we played and missing free throws, we're not in such bad shape. Let's just try to hang around and give ourselves a chance in the fourth quarter.
Reggie Miller with 24 of his 33 points in the second half, 19 here in the fourth quarter. 23-5. Reggie Miller with 19 of the 23 Indiana points. Pacers lead 81-75. 5:25 to go in the fourth. A remarkable turnaround by Indiana. And it will be Nick Ball. Last touch by Workman. Larry Brown not happy with that call.
The Knicks getting a little dose of the Pacers' medicine right back as Patrick Ewing this time fronted Smith, and he did not step out to protect the passer.
Rick Smith's playing with 5 fouls. Starks with the dunderway move on Miller for 3. On the back tap. Knicks recover. Oakley for Ewing. Patrick Ewing going glass. Cuts it to a 4-point Indiana lead.
Patrick was thinking tomahawk dunk that time, but he got resistance from Smith as Harper gets nailed in the backcourt.
Harper got picked off. Miller looking for the shot, does not force it. Shot clock is at 10. There's Smiths drawing a double team, finding Workman. Shot clock at 5. Workman had it knocked away, then recovered. The key with the setup. Davis stripped. And it's a 24-second violation. What an aggressive defensive sequence that was.
And now the Pacers, for some unknown reason, trying to go inside to Rick Smith and going away from the hot hand Reggie Miller, and the aggressive New York defense is taking advantage of it.
The Knicks are only 1 of 6 from the field here in the fourth. Hopper and Starks at the guard. Ewing, Smith, Oakley on the front line. We come up on 4 minutes to go. Ewing fouled by Smiths, and that is 6th.
That time, Patrick Ewing fought for and got good position, and knowing Rick Smith's in foul trouble and about to foul out, just tipped that shoulder and took it hard to the hole. The first clean catch by Patrick Ewing in the post in quite some time.
So Rick Smiths with only 6 points and 2 rebounds. So that means a matchup of Antonio Davis, at least for the moment. Earlier, Larry Brown did go with the veteran, the 6'10" LaSalle Thompson. Ewing, 7 of 8 from the line, 23 points. The Knicks in the first half led by as many as 16. Indiana with the tear here in the fourth quarter. And now the Knicks coming back, down by 2. 81-79. Hopper hand-checking Workman. The champ of defense. Hopper going for the steal, made contact, and he is called for the foul. His 4th.
Well, Workman, who has been pressured all night long and very well by Derek Harper, that time just wearing Derek Harper down and finally beating him on the dribble. And I think Harper just got tired and just reached in and grabbed.
The Knicks with their 4th team foul. Indiana with 5. Again, the pressure. Workman finally gets it back. Miller trying to come off the pick. Lost the dribble. Oakley dives for it. Starks trying to save it from a backcourt violation, and now it is a backcourt violation. Or let's see, perhaps a 24-second violation. Yes, they reset the 24. And it will be Pacer ball.
I guess they're going to rule that Charles Oakley had possession as he dove for that ball, but the Knicks did a much better job that time. Reggie Miller was coming off a double stagger screen, and Charles Oakley showed way out, which made Reggie Miller fumble that ball.
Timeout taken. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. They changed to a 20-second timeout. Pacers take a 20. Indiana now holding on to a 2-point lead.
Well, there, Reggie Miller fumbled that ball against the good defense of John Starks, and you really couldn't see Oakley, but he was the one who forced Reggie to fumble it. And on that dive and catch, they ruled a change of possession, and as Charles Oakley tried to throw it back to John Starks, referee Joey Crawford realized that the shot clock had not changed, and that's why he blew the whistle.
Well, for the Knicks, another eventful game number 5. Earlier, we showed you the highlight of last season's Game 5 between the Knicks and the Bulls in the conference finals. And remember, the Knicks had won the first 2 games of the series a year ago against the Bulls and then lost 4 in a row. Now, that was Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, but here are the Knicks faced with the same prospect. They win the first 2, lose the next 2, trailing here in Game 5.
Well, they came out ready to play, had a very good first half, but it's a 48-minute game, and these lows come for all teams, and we'll see if the Knicks can withstand it.
Brown wanted to travel on McKee. Miller pumps and hits again. 35 for Reggie Miller. 14 of 26 from the field. 21 of the 35 have come here in the fourth quarter. The playoff record, most points in a quarter, is 29. Eric Sleepy Floyd did it for Golden State back in May of '87. And Reggie Miller with 21 in the fourth. Indiana leads by 4. Starks with the reverse. Rebound Oakley. And then picked up by McKee. Just under 3 minutes to go. In this fourth quarter, it is a wild finish with the Pacers turning it around, and they extend the lead as Dale Davis hits his 3rd field goal to give the Pacers a 6-point advantage.
But when a great offensive player has it going, there is not a whole lot you can do except keep the ball out of his hands. John Starks draped all over Reggie Miller, face in his hands, still can't stop it.
2:45 remaining in the fourth. It has been a very impressive performance by the Pacers here in the fourth quarter. An Indiana club that has won only 2 of the last 33 here at Madison Square Garden, but an Indiana team that has been potent at home. They've not only won during the course of the playoffs, but they have won big most of the time, making these final 2 minutes and 45 seconds critical for the New York Knicks. They're down 85 to 79 with 2:35 remaining now, with Harper moving to the top of the circle. Starks for Oakley. Open shot. Charles Oakley not able to hit. And it's run down by Reggie Miller. And a foul is called, a push on Patrick Ewing. Both teams are over the foul limit.
Well, Reggie, quicker of foot than Patrick Ewing, able to chase down that loose ball in the right corner, was trying to, I think, call timeout to prevent a turnover, but he got a break there as he got shoved by Patrick Ewing. The 3-point game of the Indiana Pacers has been dormant throughout this series. Just 3 for 21 coming into this game, but it has come alive with this man. 6 for 11 today. When you put him on the free throw line, a 91% shooter for the year, and shooting that in this series as well.
Indiana has outscored the Knicks 28-9 in the fourth. Reggie Miller now with 23 of Indiana's 29 points in the fourth quarter. And Indiana leads by 8. You mentioned Aaron Sleepy Floyd, most points in a quarter in the playoffs with 29, and Reggie Miller is right on track. Pacers with an 87-79 lead. A Knick collapse here in the fourth. Charles Smith, rebounded by Derek McKee.
It's partly a Knicks collapse, but you have to give a lot of credit to the Indiana Pacer defense. They out-nicked the Knicks in this fourth period, started it with their pressure defense, and just kept preventing the ball from going into Patrick Ewing, and the Knick defense became stagnant.
Here's Miller for two. A rare miss for Reggie Miller. Hopper pushes it down. Hopper, and he is fouled. Domino effect back behind the basket. Hopper taking McKee and Smith with him.
Well, nothing much working for the Knicks, so Derek Harper trying to put it on his shoulders to create something on a kind of open floor situation and take the ball to the basket, looking for a three-point play. John Starks, throughout a lot of this second half, because he had some success shooting three-pointers, maybe he started looking for too many of them. That play before where he just comes off the Ewing screen at about 16, 17 feet is normally a good play for John Starks and Patrick Ewing. The Knicks have not run it enough.
Foul was called on Antonio Davis. His fifth. 6-point lead for the Pacers. Minute 34 remaining. Indiana with a 29-11 edge on the Knicks here in the fourth. The Knicks have hit only 1 of 9 from the field. Miller checked the basket. 8 on the shot clock. Dumps it off for Antonio Davis, who gets inside. Antonio Davis protecting the ball and extends to an 8-point Pacer lead. A shocking finish here in the fourth quarter. Indiana by 8. We come up on a minute to go. Offensive foul. It's on Patrick Ewing.
Patrick stepping out to try to free up John Starks for a three-point shot, leaning into Reggie Miller, who does the little Hollywood job of acting to fall down hard. Patrick Ewing not agreeing with the call. Take another look. And I could see why Patrick would disagree with that call. Seemed to be standing still and holding that screen.
Well, art Knick fans, Knick historians would compare this Indiana performance, and if they hold on for the victory, to one game in Knick history, but hopefully with a steal, then McKee wraps it up and they'll jump it up. You'd have to go back to April of 1971 when a highly favored New York Knicks team, the year after they won their first championship, talking of the Knicks of Willis Reed and Walt Frazier and Dave DeBusschere and Dick Barnett and Bill Bradley, lost to the Bullets in a huge upset in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Final right here at Madison Square Garden. They lost by 2 points, and the crowd sat stunned. This is the closest to that moment. Still 53 seconds remaining, though. We'll be right back. This time 1 for 9 in the fourth quarter. Outscored 31-11 by the Pacers in the fourth. A spectacular performance by Reggie Miller. 14 of 26 overall, 37 points, 23 of his 37 in the fourth. Overall, he's hit 6 from downtown. Here's Ewing. Patrick Ewing gets inside. Like Antonio Davis was shaken up as he was picked off, hurt his elbow. Timeout is called by the Pacers with 45 seconds remaining in the fourth, and Indiana up by 6, and both teams are down to 1 timeout left.
Well, on the jump ball, Antonio Davis battling with Patrick Ewing as they get all tangled up, and as Davis hit the deck, he either bruised that elbow or caught the funny bone, as he's still in a lot of pain over on the Indiana Pacer bench.
Still 45 seconds remaining, but if the Indiana Pacers hold on and defeat the New York Knicks, they would be in position to make it back from 0-2 to win a best of 7. Game number 6 coming up back at Indianapolis on Friday night. These are the teams that have come back from 0-2 deficits, including the Chicago Bulls against the New York Knicks in the Eastern Finals a year ago, and Houston did it against Phoenix in the Western semifinals this season.
Well, a couple of interesting statistics. The Pacers had the rebounding edge throughout the ballgame, but it didn't seem to be that important because it looked like the Knicks were in control of the ballgame, and also Indiana had kicked the ball all over the place. Now that statistic is all tied up at 18 each. But throw those statistics out the window. They're kind of a trend, but the biggest statistics are the ones that Reggie Miller put up in the fourth period, and of course the Pacer defense in that fourth quarter.
Reggie Miller telling us before the game that he felt that this was the biggest game of his basketball career. Well, that'll be until Friday night, which will probably amount to the same type of situation. But this is the pivotal fifth game of a best of 7. And for the NBA franchise history of the Pacers, Larry Brown felt it certainly represents the biggest game for this franchise.
Well, still a lot of time left in this one with 45 seconds, a 6-point lead for Indiana. We've seen crazier things happen. And then even if Indiana does hold on and win it, of course, things aren't over. The New York Knicks, who have not been a good road playoff team, only winning that one in New Jersey, but, you know, they'll come in all fired up.
Hopper gets the foul, stopping the clock. Workman will go to the line. Indiana Pacers with the lead despite the awful free throw shooting. 9 of 22 from the line. Workman is usually solid at the line. He's 2 for 2 here tonight.
Reggie Miller had one more parting shot. He probably will have a few more for Spike Lee as he walked by. He probably said, hey, can you come to Indiana on Fridays? Yes.
The Pacers now lead 90-83. Here's Dale Davis replacing Derek McKee. Apparently McKee remains on the floor.
Larry going a little offense-defense, wanting to keep his best foul shooters on the floor when they have possession, and at the other end wanting to get his better defensive players, obviously.
So he has McKee, Dale Davis, Antonio Davis, along with Workman and Miller. 35 seconds remaining, fourth quarter. Indiana leads by 8. The steal by Miller. Starks recovers. And Antonio Davis gets to it. Gets it over to Miller. So the Knicks turn it over. The Knicks are hearing boos from the crowd. The Indiana Pacers with 21 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter lead by 8. And they are headed back to the line as Charles Oakley was called for the foul.
Ball knocked loose from John Starks. Everybody getting on the floor going after this as Reggie Miller knocks it loose one time. Antonio Davis is going to set it free as well as John Starks diving over. And then Reggie Miller will get hit very hard by Charles Oakley on the intentional foul to put him on the line. And one more shot. That's Spike Lee.
38 points for Miller. 24 in the fourth quarter. And the Pacers now lead by 10. 93-83. Starks for 3. And Matt, this will go down as a very dark day in New York Knicks history. The Indiana Pacers are celebrating over at the bench. A remarkable turnaround effort by the Pacers, doing it in New York, where they had lost 11 in a row, 31 of 33. The Knicks will have many questions to answer after this one as Ewing hits a three-pointer. It's a 7-point Pacer lead, and that is the final score as Reggie Miller spikes it to conclude matters. He finishes with 39 points, 25 in the fourth quarter, only 4 away from an NBA playoff record that is held by Eric Sleepy Floyd. 14 for 26, 5 for 5 from three-point range in the fourth quarter, and Reggie is with them on.
All right, thanks, Mark. Reggie, what a performance you put on here tonight. 37 points, 23 in the fourth quarter. You guys really came out ready to play.
No, we didn't come out ready to play.
You finished ready. You finished very well.
Finished very well. Mentally, we were into the game, but you know, you got to give New York credit. They came out hard. They wanted to keep home court advantage, but all we wanted to do was stick around, hang around. If we got it close, we know there were going to be a lot of heavy arms over there, and we did a good job of doing that.
Team showed a lot of confidence by coming through because the Knicks, the way they started, looked like we're going to blow you right out of the gym.
Well, like I said, they came out with high intensity. We came out very flat, but like I said, we just wanted to hang around. A lot of guys were tight, and I couldn't make any of my early jumpers. I just wanted to stay kind of in the mix, and things just fell for us.
What about Spike Lee?
Spike who?
We will see you on Friday.
All right.
All right. Good luck to you. Marv?
All right, Ahmad, one of the great playoff performances in the history of the NBA. 25 of his 39 in the fourth quarter. Indiana outscored the Knicks 35-16 in the fourth. That's the final score. They'll play Game 6 back at Market Square on Friday night. Coming up after your local news, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, followed by Late Night with Conan O'Brien, and then stay tuned for later with Greg Kinnear. Marv Albert with Matt Gukas and Ahmad Rashad from Madison Square Garden in New York. This has been the NBA on NBC.